here, mates. Let's just chat some shit quickly. That was not the best intro, actually, because I'm not chatting shit, bruv. Get this. Look, I've been going through the midst of it, mate, as you have been likely also. Life is a big thing. Takes a second to absorb it and swallow some hard pills to swallow. What am I getting at? Really, it's so I want to, yeah, I've been meaning to apologize actually for a while. So I want to apologize just for not being like epicer than I am. What I mean is, like, I just judging by my life, my past, my behaviors, some of my patterns, addictions, whether I've healed from them or not, or like, or if they're prevalent now or not. Basically, like, yeah, I'm just like sorry because it's like it's obvious that my behavior has been like not top tier in many dimensions of my life. And that obviously includes on YouTube. Making like a personal blog is really a reflection of my life, so I've really put myself out there full blast. So that there's no going back, really. I've made a commitment to put myself out there. It didn't go the way I planned. You see, when I started YouTube, the thing is really what happened, long story short, is I found like magic mushrooms and they were really profound for personal development, etc. Um, and then you can have mystical experience and they're not like hard drugs. You can have like look at the research of like the therapeutic potential of magic mushrooms, etc. So I had some mystical experiences and I was so like enlightened and shit at that point in time. And I come out, I was like, and the way I was feeling, like I had some really empowering mushroom experiences, like where I was reflecting on my past. I'd seen how much I'd grown. I'd dropped all my addictions and my bad habits and stuff, and I was ready to move on and whatever. And then, like in the midst of this empowering surge on psychedelics, like I'll pick up the camera and rant about like the mass awakening and everyone needs to try mushrooms and fucking how this culture is just built on lies. And I was right for the most part, but the thing is I fell off, kind of. I didn't really, because recently a lesson that I've learned from Mr. Nature is that fear is ultimately like you only have to fear itself. And that's kind of interesting and likely powerful for me. Because like fear is illusory kind of, but I'm not going to get into that. But I mean, in the absolute, fear is illusory, I feel, in the timelessness of reality. Yeah, and that is the key. Like people can phone me up and they either talk to me in fear or they talk to me from love. Um, and it's kind of interesting. And I know that fear is valid in survival, but there's a very clear distinction I've made recently where, like, yeah, people are really like talking to you. Like, if someone can give you advice from fear, or they can give you advice from love, advice from scarcity, or advice from abundance. But yeah, so basically, what happened is I was the personal development channel that never personally developed. Because what happened basically, this is the kind of the plot. Is like, so I woke up on the magic mushrooms and I was telling the world about how great this medicine is, which it is a medicine. Look at the ayahuasca ceremonies, do some research. And then this was so profound that I had to tell people about it. And I was confident that I'd be personally developing. See my video, it's like 18-year-old rushes into spirituality and psychedelics, or rushes into psychedelic abuse in pursuit of spirituality. And it's like this edited video of like when I had a few mushroom chips. I cut up the video and put it together. It took ages. Yeah, and this was like 2 years ago when I was starting out this channel in this kind of pursuit of the Most High. And yeah, shortly after that, I actually got really depressed. So it's like, I made my channel. I was like, welcome to my new channel, everyone. I'm back. Remember me? It's OXSN. I used to make music and post memes and stuff. But now I've had an awakening and I'm back to teach you timeless, eternal wisdom from my downloads, from my psychedelic experiences. Also, I thought, and I did, but it's like, I did definitely clash severely with mental health. That's for sure. And there's a fine line between spirituality and psychosis. Sometimes it depends. Like there's a quote: "The shaman swims in the seas, the schizophrenic drowns." Something like that. And a shaman is a psychedelic pursuer who goes into the inner realms often. I feel like I am partly a shaman. I'm not just saying that. I've gone deep with psychedelics. Like I've done a fucking like 150 probably mushroom trips at this point, and then other stuff. We'll see. And I am a deeply spiritual person. There's no doubt. And a lot of this is like I had depression in the past. Keep in mind, and it was because of how much pain I was feeling through the depression. That's why I don't really care about how I express myself, because like I've been to the darkest depths. So like anything above that is alright-ish. So like it's kind of like I saw this post about Kanye West. It's like he doesn't care anymore. That's kind of how I feel. It's like I've got so crushed by my own misery for so long that I just don't have the energy to care anymore about like what a corporation wants to think about how I look, because I was like on the verge of suicide for years. So like as long as I'm like doing decent, like yeah, my social media might have made it a bit difficult for me to get a job potentially, not because I'm a dickhead now, which I am partly, but I'm making this video because I want to get better, and I plan to get better now via quitting vices like weed and caffeine for a long time, and mushrooms. I haven't done mushrooms for a long time, which is likely actually why I've come down a bit from that. But the truth is, like, it was crazy. Like, I was just ignorant, and I just stumbled into the psychedelia, and like, spirituality was having green flags for me, and I wanted to pursue this. And then, before I know it, I was literally like dreaming while I was awake. Like, you take mushrooms, and you literally have a vision of like a god coming out of the sky, and you're completely like, I didn't know that it was that big. I didn't know psychedelics could fucking do that. And I've had like insights of no self. Like I had like a solipsism 12-gram Liberty Cap breakthrough, and like I thought I could handle shrooms, but thinking that you got a one-up on psychedelics is inevitably naive. I promise, because I've had that many times, and it always, if you take enough, you will fucking lose it, mate. And it will, you know, it's big. Like before, I felt like not entertained. Like you ain't got nothing for me, mushrooms. Fuck you. They've always got something for you. Like I took the dose, and as I was coming up, I was like, yeah, get fucked. You can fuck off. But it will pummel you. Pummel you. That was a loud sip. But yeah. Basically, I fucking had an empowering, enlightening experience on shrooms, and I thought, oh my god, world, you need to wake up. Because I was depressed and born on a whim in a council estate and fed sugar and vaccines from day one, and in this unconscious house of a like, well, not culture is one big unconscious abusive family to an extent. Everyone is fast asleep, and this is causing trauma. Like when I'm like out with my family, and like there are some new babies in my bloodline, and like obviously they can do what they want, but they just continue to feed it sugar. Like it's like a 1-year-old, and you're giving it like ice cream every week. You're giving it a quiche with fucking ham from Tesco. and like Domino's pizza, and you can say, oh, it's all good in moderation, but it's not in moderation, is it? Because I've been around, and obviously this is why people don't like me, is because oh, it's my kid, it's my life, like. What? It's not that serious. And I get it's not that serious, but it is that serious because I had to fucking deal with that shit. Like, I was in the car with some family the other day and the radio was on. And after a few tunes of. First, it was fucking like Doja Cat, and then it was Little Nas X, and then it was fucking Sam Smith. And they were on there fucking rapping about the fucking Balenciaga, and I was. And in the midst of that, their conversations are so brain dead. And then eventually I was like, guys, what the fuck? Like, can't you fucking hear what we're listening to? These people, I mean, do you not know Little Nas X? Like, this is a fucking Satan worship of the industry. Fuck all this. I grew up around this shit, and that's why I was fucking had demons in my soul because I grew up around Eminem. If I grew up around Illuminati Congo and Mr. Traumatic, um, and Alchemist Ash and Michael D'Souza and Ryan Sanders and myself, etc., and MC Words. It's like if I didn't grow up around toxic music, then we wouldn't be programmed the way we are. And this is just the potential for plot twists. I've made a big video in the past called like Understanding Plot Twist in Life. And this is necessary. Like, in order for there to be a shift in paradigm, you have to realize that everything around you was delusion. Like, so the people you were hanging around with, the people you grew up with, the music you were listening to, until this point, you realize, oh, wait, hold on. My old life, like, was unconscious. Everyone's playing unconscious music. Everyone's eating unconscious food. I was just born into this and went with it. But now I've matured and I can awaken. And that leaves room for a shift in story because recontextualization happens where everything's sound and then you realize, hold on a second, everything I'm eating's poison. Oh wait, maybe that's why I been feeling like this recently. And then you try to tell people, and then it goes deeper, and then you realise that no one knows about fuck all, and no one actually breathes properly, and no one knows about mushrooms, and everyone gaslights you because their beliefs come from the TV. So yeah, that leaves room for plot twist. But yeah, it's in terms of that just mini side rant, it's like I know. Yeah, they were like, oh, it's not that serious, it's just music on the radio. I'm like, but it is kind of serious here because I grew up with that and it resulted in depression because everyone around me is listening to degenerate music that makes me think that shit's normal. Even the TV, the adverts, like, I saw a fucking advert on the TV of this lady, like, on a bus, yeah, she was so miserable on this bus, probably going to a wage slave job. Oh, fucking hell, this, like, why I'm on this bus in the middle of Babylon. And then some child offered her some Cadbury chocolate, which is just full of poison that causes cancer. And then she was like, now my life's good. So it's like the TV programs you because you literally witness someone's misery get cured by a poisonous drug, which is Cadbury's chocolate, which comes from slavery. So it's like how deep is that, man? Like, I know really he isn't fundamentally serious, but it's like, what the fuck? Like, they're so manipulative. And then, like, growing up with TV, watching adverts like that all the time, because there's no fucking community in these places, it's like you just, or for any other excuse. But regardless, like, yeah, shit like that, it's like, you just didn't realize that, like, potentially, Oh, fucking no. But yeah, like, when I watch people feed children poisonous, polluted food, I know that my philosophy, like, I live in faith. I try to live in faith now. I trust the universe, and I think I understand the universe to ultimately be a form of love. In terms of this right now is love, because I'm building more on my channel and I'm going to watch it come into fruition and all my dreams are going to come true because God is secretly conspiring in our favor, potentially. That's kind of how I see it. Like, I think the way I see it, quick time, my philosophy is, why would the universe fuck itself over to be anything but the best of all time. Basically, it's like the pinnacle of wishful thinking. Like, how far can you push wishful thinking? I fell in love with not long ago. It's because who's to say it isn't? And by my experience, I'm slowly starting to realize that it is. Like, yes, there was pain and hurt in the past, but it's like I can see how all of that can be used as leverage, and like your trauma becomes part of your life purpose, etc. And the main part of this video now is I want to get back into personal development. I'll quit weed. I'll say that. This is the first day I haven't had anything. I'm gonna fast soon, I reckon. And I want to sort my physiology out. And I'm doing a lot of work with the conscious rapper community now. Conscious rapper community. Get at that. Me and Michael D'Souza, and we're making a team. That's a big part of my vision and my life purpose, I feel, is there's a lot of very inspiring music that absolutely changed my life. See my video, How Mr. Traumatic Saved My Life. I just stumbled onto an artist when I was young, and he just revolutionized, because he just started talking about these profound ideas about alternative cultures and overthrowing the government and things, and these all ticked as green flags for me when I was like 15 years old. I stumbled onto him on a whim. Which is another thing, awakening. No doubt in my mind, awakening is a real thing. Watching some of my old content, I don't even know who that is. It's crazy how it happens. Conor Murphy is a good example. That same stuff that happened to Conor Murphy kind of happened to me, in a sense. But awakening is like realizing and remembering who you really are. Like, it's about like, how is anything conscious at all? And like, you think, oh, no one knows the answers to these philosophical questions. Like, it's impossible to know. It's so funny. To me now, I used to, and this is another part about the fucking programming, I used to watch, when I was younger, Kurzgesagt and Pursuit of Wonder. Two intellectual channels that seemed to be pretty decently rational, but what I didn't know is they were actually subconsciously programming me with delusion, because they don't know about psychedelics. A lot of them speak on reality from a materialist paradigm. Kurzgesagt thinks that we are bacteria on a rock going through space and the universe doesn't think about us. And they have the audacity to say that they're inspiring people, when really they're just pushing a fundamentalist, materialist, scientific paradigm, which is no different than religion. Materialism is no different than religion. And when you realize these things, this leaves a bit of leeway for plot twist again. Believing that reality is fundamentally material and atoms and billiard balls. I know that does seem like that is what's happening if you observe, but who's to say that you didn't? If God was infinitely powerful, and if you were God, if you are God, if God had infinite power, which by definition of God, that's what we think, and if you were God, does God have infinite power to deceive himself that he isn't God, or she, or whatever, temporarily at least? So how do we not know that you didn't create this entire environment and this entire timeline from the mind of God with infinite power, and you purposely incarnated as a finite ego, but you actually created this whole thing because you are an infinite dreaming mind? So like, you actually created the YouTube channel that was telling you that materialist paradigm in order to delude yourself and to incarnate into a materialist paradigm, because everyone around you is enforcing this illusion. So forces in life are either pulling you out of the illusion or pulling you into the illusion. If someone is speaking to you from fear, oh quick, you need to sort your shit out quick, that is pulling you into an illusion of fear and scarcity, when you are actually infinitely, abundantly the mind of God. But I do need to sort my shit out. The relative plane and the absolute plane exist kind of separately nearly. So I do need to sort my shit out, and that is what I'm on about here. So yeah, originally when I was on about the apology, I'm just sorry to the people around me. I've been lazy. I've been addicted to weed. I've been addicted to coffee. I've been watching porn. My room is a fucking mess. I buy things and then I fucking break them because I don't take care of them because I just fucking smoke weed. I had severe depression for years and years, regardless of if it was my fault or if I was a victim to the universe or whatever. I dealt with that shit, and maybe I created it with my own mind, and maybe I'm just doing all of this as God because I secretly love it, and maybe everything's predetermined. And my philosophy kind of is like, what if God were to tell you, just kidding, everything's okay, infinite hugs, infinite love, you know, and you can only appreciate that having been deprived from the love by fooling yourself into a materialist paradigm, which Mr. Nature told me that the materialism paradigm in the Bible is almost deemed as hell. Or is hell. And again, the people who listen to fucking Sam Smith and fucking Little Nas X and shit, a lot of them are on antidepressants, and they don't understand that the music is creating that. Kind of. Because all that music enforces what is normal to eat, and TV and the adverts will do that as well, like I said earlier. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying anymore. Just look. In terms of the personal development thing that I was chatting is, right. Yeah, so awakening is definitely a real thing. It's basically like a lot of what it is, yeah, even from a materialist paradigm, you take this plant that grows from you eat a plant that grows from the same earth that you grew out of. Supposedly. We can't actually be too confident about that, but you know, that is how it goes, yeah. As an apple tree apples, earth peoples. And you are one of those peoples, and you eat from the same earth that you grew out of, a mushroom. This mushroom makes you see intricate geometry, and makes you realize things about your past, or so it seems. That kind of is spirituality to me. Well, that's how it started for me. And then it's contemplation and meditation on the true nature of reality, and the truths are within. Everyone just assumes that you can't find like the philosophical truths to reality or the existential truths, but as soon as I heard public intellectuals like Leo Gura of actualize.org saying, that's bollocks, watch this, I'll just tell you the full nature of reality right now. And when I hear it, if you're like, do you know Mac Miller's lyric? Sometimes the truth don't sound like the truth, maybe because it ain't. I just love the way it sounds and I say it. I was listening to that song the other day, it's Good News by Mac Miller. It's a banger, which also is kind of partly negative music, but Spectrum likes him, so, and he's a conscious rapper who's featured on the conscious rapper community, get at that, on Instagram and SoundCloud and YouTube. But yeah, look, yeah, it's when I say infinite love and God, it sounds like truth to me. It resonates, like, but when I say materialism, it doesn't really resonate. Like, that's not the fun, like, how, that's the most stupid thing ever, like, the people literally believe that it's material, like, is that the deepest essence of reality, is it? That I'm bacteria on a wet rock going through space? It's stupid. The Godhead is pretending it's not the Godhead. That's the main thing, and all of it knows it. Like at any point, everyone could just wake up and go, I don't know. But look, anyway, the main point of this video is, I don't mean to drag on this long, but the main point is personal development. I think I'm gonna hone in on personal development because I need to bite the bullet of survival. Spirituality can distract you from your life. And also, I've had other means of dopamine, so like my life has been crumbling, but I've been smoking weed and being addicted to the internet and caffeine, and that's like my only pleasure in life. And like that's the only thing that's holding myself off from like actually doing something about my life, is that I have like these. If I didn't have these things like social media and that, then I would be forced to bite the bullet of my life that is not super great at the minute. And that is because of the instability that came with awakening. As soon as I started to awaken, my life just fell apart, I swear down. As soon as I started taking psychedelics and shit. And that I don't want to do a disservice to the psychedelics, because they really have helped me, and they are really the holy grail. Remember to breathe, right? Look, you've been watching this video for fucking 25 minutes, yeah, if you have. You could have been breathing the whole time. Don't watch my fucking videos if you're not consciously breathing. I gotta block my nose. I mean, I gotta blow my nose now. I got a cold, and I ate fucking too much food yesterday, when I don't think you should be eating when you have a cold, for the most part, because I've noticed that it just makes the cold kind of not go away, compared to fasting, and that's what Mr. Nature and Miss Sunshine say. But yeah, I'm gonna hone in on biting the bullet of personal development. Basically, I hope that I just want a happy ending. That's what I want. I want a good story. I want my story and my life to be an inspiring story. If anyone potentially is going through the same sort of things that I was going through, if anyone is potentially watching this, I could be watching this in a future incarnation, potentially. Maybe I am everybody, technically, and maybe I'm just going through the... Check out Kurzgesagt, The Egg video. I actually like that video. It's a story about how you live every single human life, potentially. Even though I was just hating on Kurzgesagt. But half of their stuff is alright. But I started to have a sneaky intuition when they started bigging up the injabtions. But look, that's it. Yeah, if anyone... let me tell you the main purpose of my channel and my life right now, kind of. Well, really, I recently, there's this phrase I come up with, is devotion to the Most High. I want to be devoted to goodness. I want to bring about goodness. I want to be devoted to goodness. I want to help everyone I can to awaken, get healthy, to be inspired, to create art. I want to have a good time. I want to save the world, for fuck's sake. Cliche. I want to help the community. I want to help communities. That's a big thing. I want to do what fucking Mr. Beast does with his philanthropy shit. Like, where he built 100 wells in Africa and shit. Like, that's what I want to be dedicated to, yeah. Is I want to devote my life force and everything and all my resources to actually be a cause of good in the world. And I do want to stop the government, in terms of the Great Reset and stuff. And every now and then, in terms of the conspiracies, this is an important point. Like, I go on and off the conspiracies, where sometimes I'm more open to conspiracies. Ultimately, conspiracy is just illusory, because everything is the mind of God, etc. So conspiracy is coming from like a illusion of separateness, but it is still valid. Like, I'm traumatized because I was given poisonous injections in school while I was being fed drugs by my teachers and parents. Get that? What I mean drugs is refined sugar. So I know that sounded hard. It's like they were giving me cocaine or something. But that is what it is, mate. If you fucking are on refined sugar for a long time, which you likely are, if you are not an anomaly in this culture, you have been eating refined sugar and poison and drugs in your food. When you cut that stuff out, good luck. Then you will realise it's a drug. If you want to laugh at me, because I'm calling caffeine and weed drugs, all you have to do is get addicted to those and then try and quit. And then go cold turkey and then go back to it. Michael Pollan had a coffee, I think, after 3 months of having no coffee, and he said it was psychedelic. But yeah, look, it goes deep. I'm going to go now. That's nearly a 30-minute video from Yaman Oxen. I'll let it roll to 30 minutes. But yeah, please help me with everything. Follow all my shit. But yeah, in terms of being devoted to the Most High, the way I see my personal story is the best thing I can do from here, and kind of a selfless thing in a way, but also not, is I don't want to delete a lot of my content. A lot of my content could likely do with deleting, because I'm always growing. Therefore, the previous version of myself is not as actualized as I could be. However, what I would like to do is anyone who is potentially going down the same path that I did, down spirituality or psychedelic abuse, people who are familiar with the same public intellectuals that I share, or conscious music, or anyone who can relate to me can use my channel and my story as a guide of what to do. I would like to teach, not exclusively just young men, but it's like with the personal development YouTube channels, I would love to give to those community, to these communities, to those communities. So the best thing I could do, even if I fucked up in the past, even if I made mistakes, even if I've been projecting my ego across the internet like a fucking retard, the way I see myself is honestly, like, maybe I'm not honest all the time, in every aspect of my life, but how it is I feel like an honest person at this point. My values are authentic. I want to be devoted to goodness. So I'm like, if I'm wrong, I want to know that I'm wrong. If people have criticism, I hope that I am mature enough to hear it and receive it properly. So honesty is the driving force. A good name that I just come up with on a whim. I think that I could call my channel, and where I'm going from here is honest actualization. Meaning that I'm coming from a place of honesty. And humbleness, or at least I try. Excuse me, I'm getting hiccups and stuff. I need to do some conscious breathing because I'm clearly not well. You can hear it in my voice. I think there's something wrong with the food. I don't think I know. But look. Sorry, I'm literally dying. Yeah, honest actualization is I'm coming from a place of serenity to God and life. I want to forget the past, and I want to just be devoted to the Most High. So if I can learn something by any means that I can teach to somebody that might help them, assuming that others exist, which is solipsism. Or even if I can help myself in a future or past incarnation. I wish to help everything. Go towards the light. What is the light? The light is the warmth I have felt. The warmth Illuminati Congo has felt. See his song Live from the Heart. I've had experiences of experiencing extreme... Fuck it out. I'm dying out here today. Can I mute myself? 1 second, please, excuse me. Look, I'll fucking die. I need to go. Fucking hell, what is going on with me? I'm about to have a stroke or something. You are what you eat. My dad's got better recently. But what was I saying? Fuck's sake, I can't remember. Oh my god, what's going on? I was good a minute ago. What? Now I'm dying. It's the hiccups that just throw me off. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go. I'm fucked. Clearly. Look at this. Yesterday, yeah. I put some food in my dog's dog bowl, feeding my dog. And I was laying down and the cupboard like opened or something and I stood up and I fucking like stood up really fast like that. Look what it fucking done to my back. I don't know if it's that bad now, but it fucked me up. It was fucking hard. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, the warmth I have felt. So yeah, I've had experiences where it feels like the true nature of reality is infinite love. And that is just joy in terms of waking up, rolling over, cuddling my dog, doing podcasts, building my channel, going out with my family. It's like, don't you see how it's all love? Anything I adore is a door to the Lord. Anything I adore is a door to the Lord. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I love you. OXSN signing out. OXSN.